election isn't a reality TV show.
Hillary Clinton is unfit to be our president.
Newsmax TV's post-debate coverage of the first encounter between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton continues as that first debate just wrapped up moments ago on the campus of Hofstra University in Hempstead, New York. And we want to know who you think won that debate. Very simple way for you to express your opinion. Electronically, you can do so by going to newsmaxpolls.com and letting us know if it was Hillary or if it was Donald Trump who prevailed tonight. Now, there's another way you can let us know your comments, insights, and questions. Invited at 1-877-NEWSMAX. That's 1-877-639-7629 to give us your take on who prevailed in tonight's first presidential debate prior to the general election 42 days from today. Let's call in Newsmax TV political analyst Dick Morris now for his instant analysis. Dick, who won and why?
I think that if you're looking in the narrow contours of the debate, I think Hillary probably did better than Trump. But I feel that Trump may have come out of the debate with an edge in terms of electability, because all Hillary did was sort of reinforce what everyone knows about her, that she's knowledgeable and competent and articulate. But what Trump did was to debunk the rumors and the attacks that he's a horrible person, that he's irresponsible, that he doesn't know what he's talking about, that he's a wild man. And I think he did very well in answering that and coming across as presidential and as having good temperament. I was very frustrated with the debate because I thought Trump left a lot of shots that he could have taken untaken. And I think he's got to be a better debater in the future.
But that requires him to practice, Dick. And, you know, if you were going to consult me in a campaign, you got to practice. And he did not. I want to come back to that in a second. But I'd be remiss at this juncture if I didn't also welcome in from Newsmax New York, my good friend Steve Malzberg, host of the Steve Malzberg Show that you see weeknights at 7 and again at 10 p.m. here on Newsmax TV. Steve, as a broadcaster, we are taught what? To speak clearly, think clearly, and write clearly. And Donald Trump has obviously been a successful guy, but did he lack the discipline tonight he really needed to be a clear winner?
Yeah, I agree with with what Dick was starting to say at the end of his first comment here, that Donald Trump left a lot on the table. I thought he started off very strong on economics issues and the trade agreements. He really was strong, but then he took the bait. He let Hillary throw him off course, and when he could have responded, I would have devoted every answer on the cybersecurity issue to the callousness with which Hillary handled her emails. He had one good line on the emails: "I'll release my tax returns when Hillary releases 33,000 emails," and that was it. He could have talked about, we're so vulnerable, so Hillary, why on earth did you do what you did? Why did you put, and gone in depth on that. He could have talked more about the Muslim issue and his plan to fight ISIS and to check Muslims coming into this country from terrorist countries. That's been talked about so much in the media. He went on and on and on. He got thrown on the birther movement, even when he was describing the Sid Blumenthal, which thank God he knows about that. He didn't go far enough. And as far as defending himself against racism, my gosh, I've played over and over Jesse Jackson, for instance, in the 90s, praising the heck out of Donald Trump. He's never brought that up. He should talk about that. Jackson was in the audience. And I just think he got caught up, and he said, call Sean Hannity, call Sean Hannity. He said that more times than he talked about our email.
Well, let me return to Dick Morris, because Dick,
Let me finish what I was about to say, JD.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir, please.
Here he's asked a question about cybersecurity, and he takes it on face value, and he lets Hillary take it on face value. The answer on cybersecurity is secure your own damn emails, Secretary of State, and he didn't do that. Then he's asked a question about what can we do to reduce the crime in various cities, and he doesn't take it. He doesn't talk about stopping immigrants from coming in from terror-sponsoring countries. He doesn't talk about the stuff that brought him. He doesn't mention the word Benghazi in the entire debate, despite many opportunities to do so. But I have to get over the habit I have as a political consultant of criticizing my candidate because he didn't do well enough. In terms of the voters, I think he was great in the jobs segment. I think he made the trade issue stick, and he made it stick that she was for NAFTA, and that's really hurt our country. And I think that's all a lot of voters see the first half hour. Then they got into taxes, and his answers on tax returns were pathetic. And Hillary, I think, scored big points about his corporate practices and stiffing people and bankruptcies. He let a new issue against him be born. I thought the third segment, the race segment, he was great. I think he really showed himself not to be a racist. He was really wonderful and appealing to African-American voters and talking about how the politicians have let them down. On national security, I think he flubbed it completely. He didn't talk about Hillary's emails, about compromising on national security. He didn't talk about any of that. And his answers on nuclear weapons were defensive and I think unconvincing. So I think of the 4 rounds, he won 2 and he lost 2. But he could have done such a better job.
Dick, you referenced the discussion. Go ahead, Steve. Sure.
No, I was just going to throw in on the tax issue. You know, he had this habit of saying things into the microphone as Hillary was talking. So when she said he may not have paid, from what we have seen of his taxes, there were 2 times when he didn't pay any federal income tax, and he said, "Good, smart business," something like that. Nobody heard it. I heard it. You heard it. What he should have said was, look, I take advantage of the tax laws as a businessman. If my accountants can make it so that I pay no taxes legally, that's not my fault. That's being a good businessman. That's what this country needs. Instead, he said, good business. And he let it go right by.
I also couldn't stand it when she gets up there and talks about how tough her life has been and her father and everything. And what he should have said is, for 40 years, you lived on the public payroll. You never had to worry about a job. You never had to worry about a salary. And when you were out of work, you made millions in these speaking fees that were basically bribes through the Clinton Foundation. I've worked for a living. I've built a business. I've taken risks. Can you imagine Donald Trump going through this whole debate and he never mentions Benghazi, the Clinton Foundation, the speaking fees issue? Glances over the email issue only because it was raised, and never talks about Muslim immigration in the week after we've had 2 major terror attacks by Muslim immigrants.
And this is the lament of those of us who have been in politics, those of us who have been in broadcasting. You understand you have to bring a fairly encyclopedic presentation. But Dick, you made the point earlier, and we're going to get the viewpoint now from Buckeye, Arizona at 1-877 Newsmax. Our old buddy Rick is on the line. Rick, how did it play at your house? Your assessment of Donald Trump's performance tonight?
Hi, JD, Steve, and Nick. I'll tell you, I watched it. I would kind of put it as a draw, and I think I agree with all you guys. You know, he had placed where I think he could have hit it out of the park, and he was just too laid back on Hillary. Benghazi, what Dick brought up. My wife and I, we were just sitting on the edge of our seats saying, "Bring up Benghazi, bring up Benghazi, bring up the Clinton Foundation." Hopefully, this next debate, he's going to do that. He's got to do that.
Let me turn to Dick Morris, something that our own John Gizzi pointed out at the outset of the Trump campaign. He said the danger for Donald Trump would be the curse of the billionaire, the Ross Perot notion that because I've achieved a status in life, I delegate authority on the details, I've got definite opinions, and I won't devote the necessary intellect and power to really preparing myself politically. Are we getting a variation of Perot-itis for Mr. Trump tonight? 30 seconds, Dick.
Brilliant analysis by John. That's exactly true. It's exactly what's happening. And he's coasting. He didn't do his homework. He didn't spend the time on it. It was too unexciting for him. And he ended up leaving point after point after point on the table. If he won this debate, which he might have, it shows how biased and tilted the playing field is in his favor. But he could have knocked her out tonight.
Dick Morris on opportunities missed. but still he scored it kind of even. Steven, Dick, we thank you for your time. Steve Malzberg, we know you come back, and you with our calls at 1-877-Newsmax, 1-877-639-7629. We'll continue after this.